Hey,
Welcome
to the Hot Mess.
Mount Mamas.
this is our coffee and chocolate fest.
Yeah.
Well, we don't
Iced
have the
coffee.
chocolate.
It's iced
but
coffee because, are you iced coffee
I'm
or
not
hot?
iced.
Okay.
I'm not iced
We're
today.
each
I'm hot today.
hot and cold. Fire and ice. Well, I wanted to still do iced because the temperature is still
It was still
conducive to iced
Yeah.
coffee, which does not happen most of the year.
I know,
When
yeah.
I lived in California, I used to drink iced coffee like all year round. Sometimes I would drink it hot, but I would
Jordan would
frequently
too.
get an iced coffee.
Yeah.
If I was out, especially, like almost always got an iced one.
Mm-hmm.
And then I moved here and I'm like, I think the first couple times I did that, I was like, this is cold to hold. I'm gonna have to get a hot drink.
You have to get the sleeve to put over it.
Yeah, I was
so
like,
then you can
oh,
hold it.
this is not refreshing. I'm like freezing right now. My hand's like, ooh. Okay, no more iced drinks in the winter here.
Yeah.
And that wasn't even here. That was in Grand Junction, but it still gets
It
cold
still
enough.
gets cold.
It
Yeah.
still gets zero.
They actually have full seasons in Junction still.
Yes, they do.
So
still,
that's-
we don't know what's gonna happen in a few years. They might not. Just kidding. Yeah, yeah. No, yeah. They do have full season.
Yeah, Jordan said it's like 90 there today.
Yeah, I
So-
was in Delta a few days ago, and it was like 87. And I thought, okay, I'm really hot right now. Like I'm melting.
Us Lake City people.
Yeah,
Not used to it.
yeah.
So we were just sitting here talking, and then we thought, well,
Yeah.
we should just start recording.
Yeah.
Because we're experiencing some times where we're just kind of like overwhelmed by everything that happens in life and
Yeah.
things that just surprise us. That then, and then it just keeps piling on
Yeah.
and piling on and piling on. To the point where you're like, I don't even know anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, here,
Like
do you want
Jackie
to
was
see
saying,
my face?
Sure.
Oh,
Yeah,
there,
you have a beautiful face.
Oh,
And then we just want to, like Jackie was saying, we just want to go climb into bed,
yeah. I just want to be done. I just want to be like,
pull the covers
peace
over
out.
our head, be like, kids, watch whatever you want.
Yeah, yeah. I don't even care. Eat whatever you want. Watch whatever you want.
Just be quiet.
Go
'Cause if you're
somewhere.
not quiet,
I don't even care.
then go somewhere. Leave the house. It's easier
Yeah.
for your kids to do that.
It is, yeah, because yours have to go quite a bit farther to get anywhere. So technically, they can walk down and go the back road and the whole 9 yards.
They could, but it's like
it's
a 30
quite the
minute
ways.
walk.
Yeah, it's quite
It's
the
a 30
ways.
minute walk,
It's, yeah. Charlie does that sometimes to meet his friend that lives up over here.
Yeah,
but,
that lives right next
yeah.
door. Yeah.
But I'm like, yeah, go walk. Go walk up there.
It's good for you.
Yeah. Take your bike. They push it like half the way because it's up. It's these like steep hill.
So,
yeah.
I was asking Jackie, what does she do? What do you do whenever you're like, this happened, and then this happened, and then that happened? We won't go into details because, small town.
Yeah.
And
Well, and it doesn't really matter because we all have those things or those days or those periods where you're like, to me, this is super annoying or frustrating or discouraging, and that might be different for someone else. Like they might be like, oh, that's a piece of cake, but I have this, or they might, so, and that's not really
everybody's
the point.
things are hard.
But to have, everybody has their things that are hard for them, and really we can't like use a measuring rod of like whether or not my things are more or less than the next person's, because that doesn't matter in the end. What matters is that right now, whatever it is feels hard.
Yes. Like Vera trying.
Like Vera playing in the garden. We have quite the view right now. It's hilarious. She's struggling
trying
with
to
that
put,
door.
she's inside the greenhouse and she's trying to reach her hand outside the door to put a rock behind the door to keep the chickens out.
Yeah, but it's
kind of hard to do because your
arm
hand.
is arm is in there. And you know what? That's what I feel like sometimes. I feel like that's what I'm trying to do. I'm like, why isn't this closing?
I was just thinking that. I was like,
I'm in my own stinking way, and I'm like, what's happening? I don't understand. Everything sucks. Why is life so hard? I just want to close the door.
We had no idea that was going to happen.
No,
either.
but it's so perfect.
It really is. We're like, oh, honey.
Yeah. Yeah, and we so do that with our own thing. Oh, yeah. See if you can you turn it around and see. She's like, oh, now I'm coming out. What's going on? It's problem solving here. Let's see now. Okay, well.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway. Oh, now we got a phone call.
Oh, it's probably Amelia.
Wondering where you are.
Yeah, but
that's the other thing, when you don't know where your children are.
Yeah, so she was missing earlier, but I'm not going to call right now because her dad is home, so I don't know why she's not.
Yeah.
Why she's calling me.
Yeah.
She probably wants to know if this is where we are, but I'm not going to come get her right now.
Yeah, because we're recording.
So when life feels like that, like you're just trying to shut the door, but you're getting in your own way.
It's not working because your arm is in the way.
Your arm is in the way.
You're like, ow!
You're like, why does the door keep slamming my arm and not closing? It's just,
trying to close the door from the outside.
Yeah.
Wow, what a great analogy.
Yeah. Who knew? Thank you, Vera.
So,
yeah.
Probably the best thing we could do is to ask for help.
Yeah.
Or just to talk to a friend, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Or talk to Jesus.
Yeah, talk to Jesus.
But sometimes
Jesus is always listening.
Yeah.
But sometimes it does feel nice to be able to just be with another human.
Yep.
And be like, this is what's going on. Because that camaraderie, I guess.
Yes.
Of knowing that you're not alone, that everybody has their things, and just someone to be like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and not even necessarily to have, and so if you are that friend, sometimes it's nice just to have that friend just listen to you and be like, yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. Yes, true. Yeah.
I'm here for you.
And maybe laugh about the
we can laugh. Yes.
ridiculousness of it sometimes, like how in the world is this happening? Like, sometimes it is just almost comical. Like it's, also where you're like, this can't even be real. Is this?
Yeah. Is this really happening? I know. So for example, I went to go get fencing off this guy's property and I knew it was going to take at least 2 days if I was doing it by myself. And so I had slotted to take the whole day and I loaded up the children. And the last time I had done this, our younger horse had gotten out of the pasture from across the highway and had climbed through the barbed wire fence and totally cut herself up. I was like on the property taking down fencing. I was so frustrated because Jordan couldn't go get her or anything like that. So I was laughing because as I was driving there, I get a call from Jordan. He's like, hey, there's horses out on the highway. And I'm like, God, are you trying to tell, like, am I not supposed to go get this fencing? Or is this just you, like, being like, watch. Like, it ended up being fine. Somebody else went down there, and the horses had come back into the pasture.
Oh, well, that's good. But
it still was making me laugh because I was like, this is what happened last time. So just like you were saying, sometimes you're like, what is happening? I really want to be mad.
Yeah.
And I really just want to go climb back into bed.
And pout a little.
Yeah.
Or be like, I'm
why?
not facing any more today.
Yeah, why can't somebody else take care of this?
Yeah.
Hey, Vera, what are you doing? Oh, honey. Oh.
Uh-oh.
They're going to kill the baby. Why did you put the baby in there?
Uh-oh. Emergency. Got to get the turkey baby out of the turkey pen so that they don't get the turkey baby.
Vera, how did you get
So, yes. Turkey baby getting saved.
Let's just let the turkeys out. So
Turkey baby getting saved.
Okay.
So we also were talking about what do we do? Like, what is our typical response? What is it that we're typically I'm totally spacing on what I wanted to say there. That's awesome. But, what is our first go-to response? I was just trying to fill the void and I didn't do it.
No, it's all good. I just didn't want the baby chick to be killed by the turkeys.
No, definitely not.
Whew.
Definitely not. But yeah, I was just saying that, we were talking about what, which is much easier to say when you're sitting right here, by the way. Yeah. I was like, so... I suddenly cannot speak because There's nobody here except the camera.
You don't have Becca sitting next to you.
My brain just went like, but yeah, like what is our response? You know, like what is it that we want to do? Like you asked me, like how do you respond to those days and those times? Like what are you trying to accomplish?
Yeah.
Or how do you address it? I guess is what I was trying to say.
Yeah. How do we address, like you were saying, in my flesh, what do I want to do? I just want to like shut everybody out.
Yeah.
And go climb into my bed and pull the covers over my head.
Yeah.
Or watch an episode.
Yeah.
Or just do nothing.
Yeah.
And
right. Yeah. Put on a movie, a very mindless one.
Yes. Nothing traumatic.
Nothing traumatic. And, you know, with a happy ending.
Right.
And
Right.
whatever it is.
Right.
Or read a book or, you know.
But sometimes you can't.
Right.
Because
you can't.
you have to go meet somebody for something. Or you do have to make dinner.
Yeah, you have an appointment. Or you have, yes, hello, baby. Would you like to turn around this way now?
And see.
Yeah.
I'm really hungry.
Okay, go inside.
If we have something we have to do, like how do you, and I was like, I think I just at that point, I like maybe have a little cry fest and then I just buck up and like, I'm like,
cold
water. Yeah, that's exactly right. Like,
So then when people see you, they're not like, oh, what's
have you been crying? Shit,
And then you're like, don't,
No.
because you're going to make me cry
yeah,
again.
yeah. And also it's probably, maybe sometimes it's not that
Big of a deal.
but it just hits right, you know.
Yes.
And so you're like, I don't want to go into it with people. I just needed to like release the emotions,
Yes. Yep.
and then suck it up and move on.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but sometimes if I don't have anywhere that I have to be, it's easier to stay in that though.
Yeah,
and
that's
so-
true. Yep.
And so, you know, figuring out like, well, how do I want to clap. Yeah. You know, how do I move on from that there? Sometimes it is giving myself a few minutes
Yeah.
to just be like, right now I can't
a deep
people
breath.
for a minute.
Yeah.
And I need a minute.
Yeah. Even like 5 minutes
Yeah,
sometimes.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
You're saying
And,
coffee
you
and
know,
chocolate.
Yeah, well, yeah, because I'm like, I just like what makes me happy? Coffee, books. You know, sometimes just getting on the phone with a friend or texting and not even necessarily talking about what's going on, but just like interacting with a person.
Yeah. I don't do
You know?
that enough.
Yeah.
I know that you've done that before where you've like texted
Yeah.
whenever things have been kind of rough.
Yeah.
I don't do that enough. I bet
Yeah.
if I did that more, I wouldn't like bottle my emotions up as much.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Release them a little
sometimes
bit.
sometimes I don't even say, like, I'll just be like, let me just hear how somebody else is doing and to like shift
yeah.
my focus. So
Yeah.
both
Yeah,
things.
both. Yep.
Sometimes I do just need to talk about it or be like, ah! And then sometimes it's like, I just need to get off myself for a
Yeah.
minute and like see how someone else is doing or
Yeah.
like see what's going on with them. And
Yeah.
both things can be effective for me because it does, you know, and it kind of depends on what's going on. If I know I just kind of need to move on with my mood and I'm struggling to do that, sometimes just reaching out to a friend and just talking about other things like, hey, how's your day going? Like, what are you up to today? Can kind of help break the like
Yeah.
the mindset that I'm in.
Yes.
But if it is something that I'm like, I really feel like this is bothering me and I need to like get off some steam vented, then sometimes too I might be like, okay, oh my gosh, like can
Yes.
one more thing go wrong today? You know, or just, and so like knowing who your people are and also knowing what it is maybe that you're like needing in the moment. And
Yeah.
if you have people that you feel like you can talk to
Yep.
or that, you know, will pray for you. Like, I know there have been times where I'm just like, I know that all of this is stupid, but it's really getting me down. And I think
I
I just
need
need some
prayer.
uplifting prayer. Like,
Yeah,
I think
no
I'm
necklace,
Just,
no
yeah,
necklace.
No, I'm just gonna pull her clothes off of her. That's us. You know, sometimes like I might, maybe a piece of it is spiritual and I just need like, can you just pray that this like,
Oh, yeah,
whatever
totally.
I'm struggling with here can pass.
Yes.
So there's
Yeah.
a few different ways to kind of approach music. Sometimes makes a big difference for me.
Yep. Sometimes getting outside. That's why sometimes I like to do chores by myself without my children.
Yeah. If I'm out there
Because-
chopping wood by myself, don't come.
Sometimes
don't
it's
come and call it.
Don't come. I'm like out watering my garden. Like, and then the other thing.
Die, you piece of wood! Oh wait, I'm just kidding. Jackie, you doing okay over there? Fine, Peachy. The wood, not so much.
I am chopping wood for winter.
Just chopping some wood for winter. Yeah, no, but yeah, it's getting outside, like getting that sunshine.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if it's not -20 and you're bundled up so much so you don't get
Yeah,
sunshine.
and the only sunshine you have is like right.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, so true.
That's how you know you live in a cold place. Everybody's sunburned.
Yeah,
like here.
exactly. Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. But yeah, sometimes just getting outside, even if it's cold, sometimes getting outside, just go for a brisk walk or something and just, whew. But
yeah.
But
and essential oils, I do just want to throw that out there that when we were dealing with stressful
you got
times
that
this
outside.
last month, I was inhaling a lot of essential oils.
yeah,
And it really does help.
it does. It
I
does.
used to be like, I can't see how that would. I think that's a placebo.
Yeah.
But
well, even if it were,
I
even
know.
if it were,
At least
like,
mentally,
if it's doing something.
that's so true.
No, I do think it helps though, because I mean, aromatherapy in and of itself, there's tons of research that shows that aromatherapy can affect like your moods and your outlook and
well, I think that's why sometimes coffee and chocolate are so comforting.
yeah,
That it's
true.
like the smell of it brewing.
yeah, and you're
The
like
smell of chocolate, and you're like, okay,
I can
handle my
And,
life now.
I always think of it.
I know.
I don't think it's as like socially acceptable to be like, I just really need my coffee break right now. Like people take their cigarette break. Like I just
So true.
But it sort of has the same effect.
Yeah, it
like
does. Yeah.
because I think one of the things with like essential oils or coffee or cigarette and obviously there's addictive pieces. I'm not talking about that, but that being able to take.
We're not saying you should go smoke.
I'm not saying
that's
you should
not
go
what
smoke.
we're saying.
But what I'm saying is when you create a pause in your day in a stressful moment,
Yes.
whether it's drinking some coffee, eating a piece of chocolate, using some essential oils, I think there's that added benefit of
Trying to pick
what a pretty bird. She's so pretty. I think there is an added benefit of just taking that like 4 or 5 minutes and breathing.
Yes.
And so I
You
think
want it?
No, Vera, we're recording, sweetie. Please wait.
we'll pet it later.
So ADD right
So
now.
it's more than just the coffee. It's the taking a few minutes to just actually enjoy it and think and be calm and like
Yes. Yeah.
breathe through. So I don't recommend smoking if you're not already a smoker, then don't pick it up. But
Yes. Something that
there
does help you to
is
breathe.
something that gives you that moment. There are things that kind of give you that pause and also have those beneficial factors
Yes.
or elements like the essential oils, having your coffee, like
Yes.
having a piece of dark chocolate, listening to a song, like because not everybody can just be like, I'm gonna drink and spend 20 minutes drinking my coffee and everybody else has to wait, but like do you have
Do you
10
have a
minutes?
song?
Do you have a song? Do you have and so finding those things to be like, okay, I just need a minute to like shift my thought and perspective, and sometimes I do it better than other times.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, there are times where I'm like, just I need 45 minutes, leave me alone.
Yep.
Yeah. But yes.
Just like I love you, Mom.
But I think figuring out what things are helpful. For me, taking a moment to have my coffee really does make a difference for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it's those
and I don't know
familiar
about you,
properties, but
in the morning, if I don't even have my moments in the morning, where if I'm sitting down and I'm actually doing my quiet time and I'm like saying my declarations and applying my oils and doing my coffee, like if I have my routine in the morning where I'm doing all those things, the rest of my day I feel like I can handle it. But if I wake up and the second I wake up,
it's like
there's
get up and go,
something
rush.
happens, like Dennis threw up, and then this like the dogs are chasing the chickens, or now a couple of the kids are fighting. Like if I don't get a moment to just be quiet when I first get up, I know that really affects me too.
Yeah, and your ability to just process and deal with the things that. Well, there you go. So, but so I think finding those things and identifying them is actually pretty important.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. So list off the things that are important to you that help you maybe to get out of your funk of
Cinnamon
my life.
rolls.
So,
No, just
cinnamon rolls.
rolls.
Rolls. We're heading into that season.
Oh
actually,
my gosh, I know. Ooh, I gotta start.
cinnamon rolls. Rolls.
Oh my god, we're probably just cracking ourselves up, and everyone else is
It's like, what is happening?
these women are crazy.
Yeah, we are. So
It's true. So, yeah, I know. For sure, coffee, the quiet time, like you were saying. I do notice when I have a harder time fitting that in. Like if life gets really busy and I'm not fitting it in very well, it does affect my ability to process. I think there's tons of, I do think that I don't utilize essential oils as enough. I did used to do them more, and I kind of just got out of the habit. I don't know why exactly, but I got a little bit
yeah.
I don't know. I think I moved them to a different spot, and then they weren't as easy to grab, and just anyway. And I need to get back into. I've been starting to use them more consistently, to think to kind of read. I know, I'm watching her.
She's
Put it back in my head and as a thing to do.
Yeah.
And she is trying to, but I'm watching her. Music, if I'm starting to feel like putting on some good worship music or just Christian music or artists that I enjoy. Sometimes I don't want worship music. That's just sometimes I want some NF, man.
Yeah. I was actually thinking that. I was like, sometimes I just want some rap.
Yeah, I was like, and so it's just utilizing those things.
Yep. Yeah.
Using my words sometimes and being like, children, I need a minute.
Yeah.
Step back.
Yes.
For a
Which
few
is so
minutes.
good for them to see too.
Yeah.
For your
That's
kids
true,
to
yeah.
model that for your kids of if your kid, because it teaches your kids to be able to say, I just need a moment.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
So-
true. It's true. I'm trying to think what else. Coffee is a big one for me. I don't
So
know.
fun.
I just keep
Hey,
coming back
hop
to
down,
that,
please.
but that's a big one for me. And then
Or sit still.
writing or coloring or journaling can be helpful if you have time. I've been using my coloring devotional some, not to be spy my thing, but but that's why I created it,
Yeah.
to as a way to be still focused on the Lord or something positive, but also kind of slow down and pause for a minute.
Yeah.
And it is helpful. I do enjoy it. And so finding those things that you like that speak to just your heart and soul, I think are helpful.
Yes.
What are your things?
So, obviously my quiet time in the morning. If I don't get that in, then I really struggle. Not saying God's grace isn't sufficient, but
It does help
it
set
does
up
help to set you up for success. But yeah, the essential oils, if I can get out, a lot of times that's why I like to get out in the afternoons, actually about this time, and do chores, and I like to do them by myself and spend a good amount of time in my garden, just piddling in my garden.
Yeah.
And it is so refreshing and soul invigorating for me. So get my hands dirty.
Yeah, that
But-
too. Watch the little worms come up and
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. So it's, that, and honestly,
Yeah.
the other thing I love is whenever I do get together with my friends. And
I was just thinking that
sometimes,
sometimes just being like, do you want to just meet for coffee? Get out of
Yeah.
the house.
yeah, or even be
Or
like,
get-
hey,
or
bring
come
your
over,
kids
or-
over
yeah.
and let's hang out for a little bit.
Yeah.
Which I really feel like that's what doing these podcasts
kind of allows us to do. Yeah.
We talk more than we podcast.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. And
it's so soul reviving.
it is. It really is. It's so, I know. It was like, yeah, we need to record because I need to hang out with my friends.
Exactly.
We're just using you all as
I know.
an opportunity to get together. No,
Not really.
not
No.
really. But yeah, not really. But it does kind of. It is a good.
Come on, baby.
I know. Now you're getting it stuck.
We don't want to break it.
It is a good sort of motivator, I guess. I don't want to say that we're not motivated to hang out, but it's like, oh, we should record and get together. It does create
Yeah.
a space of like, no, let's not put it off. Let's really do it. Like,
Yeah.
let's make it a
Which
priority.
I think some people do that like with book clubs.
Yeah.
Even.
Yeah.
Or like,
Yeah, like it's a
you know,
scheduled time, like we're committed, like like
Right.
we'll be.
It's like a reason to get together, as if
yeah.
you need a reason, but it
Yeah.
gives you a reason to get together.
Exactly. And the last thing that popped into my head was like, if you are a person who typically should be taking medications to help you, then taking them like you should is
also
also
good point.
important. Yeah, because when we don't, if we miss them or we like get slack or we decide we don't need them, sometimes that can actually, even if we do okay for a few days, it can kind of set us up to kind of get into a tailspin.
Yeah.
And so taking care of our bodies in the way that we need to, whether it's food, diet, medication, getting out and exercising, like those things really do help
Yeah, they do.
us to weather the things that are, and we're kind of talking about the everyday difficulties that sort of come up in life, like, stressors and things, not necessarily like somebody died or there's some emergent thing, right?
Yes.
Like we're talking about your
little
everyday
things.
stressors and life things, financial things or family things or, schooling things or whatever the things that really, we could probably, have things in our life that help us to weather the frustrating things better.
Yep.
So,
So tell us how you cope with those things
yeah.
and what you like to do when maybe you are feeling overwhelmed by all the little things that keep piling up.
Yes. Yeah.
Because it's helpful to
It is.
hear from other people
Yeah.
of what do you do, and then maybe it will trigger somebody else to be like, oh, that is a good idea, I should do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
Sometimes people have good ideas and I'm like, oh yeah.
Maybe you should start your own like Hot Mess Mountain Mama get-togethers.
Yeah. Right. There you go.
Or you drink coffee and eat chocolate.
Oh, maybe we should host one of those.
Right.
Like a live, like a Zoomy thing.
Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah. Like get
So
your
good.
coffee and your treat.
September?
If you want.
Should we do that?
That could be really fun. Let's try and see if we'll
Okay.
let you know.
We'll let you know the date.
To be determined.
Yes.
But that could be really fun. And then we'll just shoot the breeze.
Yes. That'd be really fun. We don't even have to do it like we could do it Zoom, not necessarily post it live on Facebook.
Right.
So
yeah.
then if
yeah.
there's like, if
Correct.
there's things that you're coming that you want to bring and you want to share personally, you don't have to
Yeah.
worry about it being posted.
Yeah, we're not. That's yeah. I mean, just gathering
Yeah.
and not necessarily not. Let's just say not for public viewing.
Right. Not for public viewing.
Thank you for sharing about your very real marital problem. This will be posted at 8 a.m. on Saturday. Great. Perfect.
I'll be like,
Yeah, maybe not. So, but yeah, just that community. And, if you have nothing to say, you can always just drink your coffee.
yeah. And just sit and absorb.
Yeah, sit and absorb.
Sometimes that is nice.
It is, yeah.
So,
I like that.
all right, we better wrap it up.
We better wrap it up. We're
So,
going a little long here.
But thank you for joining us.
yes, and the
Hopefully-
Hot Mess Mountain Mamas and our babies. Look, we both have our babies.
We have our babies.
Yeah, our baby, our family, the babies of the family.
Yep.
All right. Happy day. Happy day.